Have you ever woken up at 3 a.m. and wondered, why now? Maybe it was the silence, the strange heaviness in the air, or an unshakable thought echoing through your mind. Let me tell you something important. Waking up at this hour might not be just a coincidence. It could be a quiet call from your soul, or even a message from life itself. Hello, my dear friends. My name is Dr. Charles Milton, and I'm honored to spend these few moments with you. After decades of speaking with people in their golden years, one thing has always stood out. There are moments in the still of the night when life whispers the loudest. Tonight, we're going to gently explore what it means to wake up at 3 a.m., not from a medical point of view, but from the view of the heart, the spirit, and the wisdom that comes with age. This isn't about fear. It's about awareness, comfort, and using that unexpected moment to listen, reflect, and heal. So if you've ever stirred awake in the quiet dark, or if you find yourself wrestling with thoughts in the middle of the night, stay with me. What you're about to hear could change the way you live the rest of your life, starting tonight. Number 1. The gentle wake-up call. A message you should not ignore. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't always a bad thing. In fact, it can be a deeply spiritual experience. A nudge, a whisper, a gentle tap on the shoulder. You see, when you were younger, you might have dismissed it. You'd turn over, sigh, and try to sleep again. But as we grow older, life begins to speak to us in different ways. It's not always about noise. Sometimes it's about silence. At 3 a.m., the world is still. There's no TV noise, no traffic, no phone calls. It's a sacred time, not in a religious sense, but in a deeply human sense. A time when your mind is calm, your heart is open, and your thoughts are raw and honest. If you wake up at 3 a.m., don't rush to distract yourself. Instead, pause, breathe. Ask yourself gently, what am I feeling right now? Is there something I've been ignoring? Is my heart trying to speak to me? Maybe you're missing someone. Maybe you need forgiveness from someone else or yourself. Maybe you just need to rest your soul and be reminded that you matter, even in the quiet moments no one else sees. This is not an interruption. It's an invitation. Number 2, the power of stillness. Why night is the best time to listen to your life. Let's be honest. The world is loud. Daytime is filled with noise, movement, responsibilities, and distractions. But the middle of the night, that's when everything stops. And in that pause we can truly hear. Have you noticed how clearly you can hear your own heartbeat at night? Or how your thoughts seem louder, sharper? That's not a problem. That's clarity. When you wake at 3 a.m., you've been given a rare gift. Time to reflect without interruption. This is your private moment, one that doesn't belong to the outside world. No one is expecting anything of you. No one is watching. It's just you and your truth. Many people in their 70s and 80s have told me how these quiet moments have changed their lives. One dear gentleman I knew, Harold, used to wake up every night at the same time. At first it scared him, but soon he realized it was the only time he truly felt at peace with his thoughts. He used that time to talk to himself gently, to pray, to write little notes to his children, to simply breathe. Stillness doesn't mean loneliness. It means space to reconnect with your memories, with your purpose, with your breath. So when you wake at 3 a.m., don't turn on the TV, don't scroll on your phone, just sit, listen, feel. You might discover something you've been missing in the daylight. Number 3, the healing power of reflection. How to use 3 a.m. for inner peace. You might think, what's the use of reflecting in the middle of the night? But let me ask you this. When else do you have the world to yourself, free of distractions? Waking up at 3 a.m. is not a punishment. It's a private moment of freedom, and in that freedom, you can heal. One woman I met, named Ruth, lost her husband of 50 years. In the days after, she couldn't sleep. She woke at 3 a.m., tears soaking her pillow. But instead of fighting the sleeplessness, she began using that time to talk to him, out loud. She told him what she missed, what made her smile, and even what made her angry. Within weeks, she felt something shift. The pain hadn't vanished, but it softened. Her heart felt lighter. Why? Because grief had been heard. The silence of the night gave her the space to release what the day kept pushing aside. Use your 3 a.m. time to reflect on your day, not to judge but to understand. What made you happy today? What made you uneasy? Is there something you want to say, even if only to yourself? Sometimes you'll find that the answers you need are already within you. They just needed the quiet to be heard. Number 4. The body speaks, listening to physical and emotional signals. Often we think waking at 3 a.m. is just our body being restless, but have you considered that your body might be trying to tell you something? At our age, the body becomes more expressive. A little ache here, a tight chest there, a flutter of the heart. These are not just signs of wear, they are messages of wisdom. But here's the beautiful part. Your body also holds emotional memory. That tightness you feel. It could be stress, that lump in your throat. Maybe it's unspoken emotion, that racing heart. Perhaps it's anxiety or excitement or something unresolved. A man I once worked with, Joseph, always woke up with a tight chest. Doctors found nothing wrong. But when we talked, he confessed he had been carrying guilt over a broken relationship with his son. Night after night, his body remembered what his mind had tried to forget. So when you wake at 3 a.m., scan your body gently. Not to find what's wrong, but to ask, what are you holding on to? What's been left unsaid? Can I offer myself kindness in this moment? Sometimes all your body needs is acknowledgement. A soft whisper, I see you, I'm listening. Number 5. The quiet truth about loneliness. You are not alone. This is the one that touches my heart the most. Many people in their later years share a common feeling they hesitate to speak aloud, loneliness, and it often knocks hardest at 3 a.m. You've lived a full life. You've seen friends go, partners pass, children grow up and move far away. And now, in the silent hours of the night, that emptiness echoes louder than any sound. But here's the truth. You are not alone. Even in your solitude, your life still matters. You still belong to this world. You still have wisdom to give, love to share, and stories to tell. One woman, Edith, once told me that she'd light a small candle every time she woke at 3 a.m. She'd imagine it as a beacon, connecting her to every other soul who was also awake and feeling the same way. It gave her peace, knowing she wasn't the only one navigating the darkness. If you feel lonely at night, don't shame yourself. Instead, remind yourself gently, I am still here. I still matter. You can keep a journal by your bed, or a favorite book, or even a note from someone you love. Let those items be your quiet companions in the dark, because sometimes the smallest comforts hold the greatest power to bring peace to a restless heart. Number 6. What to do. Small actions that bring big peace at 3 a.m. Now that we've talked about the why, let's talk about the what. What should you do when you wake up at 3 a.m.? You don't have to lie there, tossing and turning, feeling lost in the dark. In fact, there are small comforting actions you can take that gently guide your mind and body back into peace. Let me share a few that many seniors have told me made a real difference. 1. Sit up and breathe softly. Don't rush, just sit upright in your bed or on a chair. Close your eyes, take a slow breath in, and then exhale just as slowly. Do this a few times. It calms the nervous system and brings you back into the present moment. 2. Speak kindly to yourself. Say something warm to yourself, just as you would to a beloved grandchild. You're okay. You're not alone. You've made it this far, and you're doing just fine. Kindness has power, and when it comes from within, it becomes healing. 3. Keep a comfort ritual. This could be making a small cup of warm milk, holding a cherished photo, or lighting a soft candle for a moment. These simple rituals can gently shift your mind from anxiety to calm. 4. Write down your thoughts. Have a notebook by your bed. When your thoughts feel too heavy, let them out. Not by holding them in your chest, but by writing them on paper. There's a beautiful peace that comes when your emotions finally have a place to rest. 5. Read or listen to something uplifting. Choose a gentle, calming book or audio, something that fills your heart with light instead of fear. Avoid the news or heavy stories at this hour. Let your soul be gently rocked back to peace, like a lullaby. Every action you take at 3 a.m. should feel like an act of love toward yourself, not duty, not punishment, just a whisper of care. Number 7. The unspoken fears. Facing the shadows of aging. This part may feel tender, but I believe it's one of the most important conversations we need to have, especially in the quiet of the night. For many seniors, waking up at 3 a.m. brings with it a wave of thoughts we try to avoid during the day. Thoughts like, what happens when I'm gone? Have I done enough? Who will remember me? Am I becoming a burden? These questions come from a deep place, not of weakness, but of wisdom. You are not broken for asking them. You are brave for facing them. And I want to tell you something from the bottom of my heart. You are not defined by what you've lost. You are defined by how deeply you've lived. Even if your days are quieter now, even if your hands tremble or your steps are slower, your existence still ripples through the lives of others in ways you can't always see. There's no shame in fearing the unknown, but let your fear become a companion, not an enemy. Hold its hand. Speak gently to it. I see you, but I have lived, and I am still living. One gentleman told me he wrote a letter to himself at 3 a.m., listing everything he was proud of in his life. Not just the big wins, but the little ones. I helped my neighbor fix a fence. I was there when my granddaughter was born. I survived things I thought would break me. You are more than your fears, and sometimes the darkest hour helps you realize just how much light you still carry. Number 8. Reconnecting with purpose. Even now you have meaning. Another reason people wake up at 3 a.m. is because they've lost their sense of purpose. When you retire, when the house gets quiet, when children grow distant with time, it can feel like you've been left behind by the world. But I promise you, you still have purpose. Your value is not based on how busy you are, how strong your body is, or how many people call you. Your purpose now might be quieter, but no less powerful. Let me give you examples of quiet purpose. Being the steady, calm voice when a younger person is overwhelmed. Passing on family stories that will live longer than any building. Showing kindness to a lonely neighbor. Writing letters, prayers, or reflections that comfort even one soul. There was a man named Fred, 82 years old. He lived alone. Every morning he wrote one postcard with words of encouragement and mailed it to someone he hadn't spoken to in years. He said, "It gives me a reason to wake up." At 3 a.m., if you feel like life is asking, "Why are you still here?" answer it gently. Because I still have something to give. Even if it's just a smile, a story, or a silent blessing, your presence in this world still matters. Purpose doesn't retire with age. It simply transforms. Number 9. The most important part, a choice that could save your life. And now, dear friend, we arrive at the most important part of this video, the message I hope you carry not just tonight, but every night. You have a choice every time you wake up at 3 a.m. You can choose fear or you can choose peace. You can choose despair or you can choose hope. You can choose to believe your best years are behind you, or you can choose to believe that your deepest wisdom, your calmest joy, your truest self, are just beginning to unfold. Waking at 3 a.m. is not a curse, it's a quiet door. And if you walk through it with courage, it could be the most important door of your life. You could discover that peace is no longer something to chase, it's something you can feel now, in your breath, in your stillness, in your heart. But here's the truth that matters most. You must be the one to open the door. Not me, not the world, you. Every night is a chance to let go of what no longer serves you, regret, guilt, anger, loneliness, and step into the rest of your life with softness, strength, and serenity. This choice made in the silence of 3 a.m. could save your emotional health, your inner peace, and in many ways, your life. Closing message, a gentle encouragement from me to you. As we come to the end of this heartfelt conversation, I want to thank you, truly, for spending this time with me. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not finished. You are still writing your story. And no matter how many pages have been turned, this page, this moment, still matters. So the next time you wake up in the dark, don't be afraid. Welcome it, use it. Let it remind you how precious, how wise, how resilient you really are. You've lived through storms, you've loved through pain, you've laughed through loss, and you are still here, breathing, learning, growing. Let that be your peace. Let that be your power. Until next time, rest gently, live fully, and know that your life still shines.